Hey guys, it's Jan Charte and I'm back again with another video. So today's video is going to be a little bit different than most of my videos, and you can expect to see me sitting down and talking to y'all about like a bunch of different business topics related to boutiques, e-commerce, and all of those things every single Friday from here on out. So today's topic is going to be a really good one. It's actually a topic that started as a result after I made a reel. There are way too many business owners who cannot decide whether or not they want to be a influencer or if they actually want to be a business owner. I found that way too many of them can't decide whether or not they want to be an influencer or a business owner. And really, it's just a case of figuring out like which one comes first or whether or not you have to be one in order to be the other. So, the answer is no, you don't. I want to talk to you about what it even means to be an influencer in the first place, whether or not you need to be an influencer, if being an influencer is a requirement of being a business owner, and all of that good stuff. So let's start first and foremost with the definition of what an influencer is. And I'm just going to read it because y'all know I love a good dictionary, honey. So, what is an influencer? According to Influencer Marketing Hub, an influencer is someone who has the power to affect the purchasing decisions of others because of his or her authority, knowledge, position, or relationship with his or her audience. Can we just start at the end of that sentence, the word audience? To be an influencer, you need to have an audience that you can influence. So, if you don't have an audience just yet, I would like to go out on a limb and say you can't really be an influencer just yet. Now, I want to start with just something that maybe will make a little bit more sense to you guys, whether or not I am an influencer. So I'm gonna keep it real frank with y'all. For a very long time, I did not want to admit that I was an influencer. Not even admit, I didn't want to call myself an influencer because for whatever reason, it just sounds like for me, it just sounds like popularity or like the girl on the internet that everybody wants to be like. That's typically the definition of influencer that we think of. But really, based on this definition, an influencer is just someone who has influence over their audience, enough influence to make them want to purchase something or take action. And so through YouTube, I kind of became an influencer by default, simply because I was providing knowledge. I had a certain level of authority within my industry, which ultimately attracted people to me as an individual and then ultimately as a coach. And now at this point, I can literally say just about anything. And a very large percentage of my audience is going to go and find that thing, buy that thing. They're going to ask me a question about it. And I didn't really realize the effects of me speaking about something until one random day, a vendor reached out to me and said that they sold out of every single product that they had in stock as a result of a video that I made for them. I was like, wow, wow, that's crazy. But that's what influence does. Influence makes someone want to take action, in this case, purchasing action. So do you have to be an influencer in order to be a business owner? No. And in fact, I did not come into the industry of being a boutique owner with the desire nor the feeling that I needed to be one. It literally just happened by default. However, I do feel compelled to tell you guys that YouTube actually does not even make that much of an impact on my online boutique. It makes way more of an impact on the coaching side of things. But as a online boutique owner, it, when I look at my analytics, I see YouTube, I see traffic coming from it. But as far as sales, it's like the double digits. I mean, kid you not, I could go like a quarter and I made like $97 from YouTube. The analytics literally tell me, and the numbers don't lie, honey. So even when it comes to being an influencer, sometimes you just have influence in a certain area and not necessarily influence over your audience in all aspects. Okay. Am I an influencer? Yes. Do I like admitting that, or do I even call myself that? No, but I am one. And it's not because I set out to be one, it's because I'm just me and I talk about things that matter to someone and they feel attracted. And if I open my mouth and say, hey, you should do a thing, you should get a thing, it just so happens that they trust me enough to go and do that. That is what it means to be an influencer. Being an influencer as well as being a business owner, both of them require you to have an audience. it's hard to build an audience from scratch. So imagine trying to build two audiences at the same time. Imagine trying to build a following on two different profiles at the exact same time. Can you talk about tiring? Can you talk about confusing? Like, girl, tiring. I don't even know what to tell you. Like, it's hard. So imagine trying to build an audience simultaneously for basically two different entities at one time. It's going to be really difficult. And honestly, it's just unnecessary. It's just not something that I would recommend anybody try to do. So that just adds to the fact that you don't have to. And it's kind of unnecessary. And it's also kind of crazy to be trying to be both an influencer and a business owner simultaneously, or trying to start the process of like your online experience or your online, journey, being both a new influencer as well as a new business owner. It's just like, girl, no, chill out. Okay. If y'all see me looking down, it's because we talking serious. Okay. On Fridays, we talk serious and I got notes. You hear me? So how do I manage being an influencer and a CEO? Let me tell you, I don't. Don't manage it really well. It's hard, especially once I realize that when I open my mouth, I have to be extremely careful about what I say, when I say it, how I say it, because a large number of people may take it the wrong way. A large number of people may feel like they need to act on something that I said. And ultimately, I don't want to say anything that may guide someone's decision making. Like, I don't want anybody to jump the fence and make a decision that is just not right for them at the time. So being an influencer can cause you to get people to take action that just doesn't make sense for them sometimes. And then you're unfortunately the blame for the situation if it doesn't go the way that they want it to, or it doesn't work as quickly as they thought that it should, or it doesn't work for them the way that it worked for you. Now you're the blame. That's a sucky feeling. So whereas I used to just be able to come onto the internet and do whatever I want and say whatever I want, because really nobody was checking for it and nobody was really like going to hold me accountable to my words or my actions. Now I have tens of thousands of people who are watching and listening all day, every day. And it's like, okay, yes, I can be myself and I want to be myself, but it's myself to an extent. It's myself with a stopping point, because I know that sometimes my words and actions can impact someone positively, but also negatively. On the opposite side of that, being a CEO requires me to think about business. It requires me to think about my customers, my livelihood at the same time, think about my team. I have to think about making money. I have to strategize how to make money. So I feel like part of being an influencer is sometimes you're not trying to make any money. You're not trying to sometimes you're not necessarily trying to get a result, but a result may happen as a result of you speaking up. Whereas being a CEO, you are taking action intentionally with the hopes that you make money. I believe that the best influencers are the people who are really good at influencing, are those who are not necessarily trying to influence on purpose, like when they first enter into the online space. I feel like the best influencers that I follow and that I look up to are those who built an audience and built a following simply from doing what they like to do in real life, from talking about things that actually matter to them, from being themselves, and just so happen to film it or share it with the world, and people naturally gravitated to it. So I feel like when you have to try it usually doesn't work out the way that you want it to. It works so much better when you just show up as who you are and be who you are, and say what you want to say. Now, there's a long list of people out there that we can look to as examples of people who are both successful influencers as well as successful business owners. Ultimately, people who have gained influence over the course of the years, but also are extremely great CEOs at this point. So Kylie Jenner is a great example of that. I know people have like this love hate more hate relationship with the Kardashian family and things like that. But you can't deny that they're good at business over there. Okay. So Kylie Jenner is a great example of a person who just so happened to be born into a family that already had, the limelight and things of that nature. But she was not born an influence or I'm sorry, she was not born an influencer. She was not born a business owner, but it just kind of happened. She was creating content. She already had that family that was already popping in the industry. Ultimately, she decided that she wanted to create a product that fulfilled the need for herself, for her own self, based on her own insecurities. She created a business. She just so happened to also have an audience already. Remember, audience is a big part of this. She already had an audience, and ultimately that made it that much easier for her to also have a successful business. A lot of those people who were following her as a person and as an influencer translated over to her business and now are customers as well. So sometimes you go from having an audience of people who love you, who appreciate you, who, follow you because of who you are. You start something, you're doing something great, and ultimately they now support that as well. Jackie Aina is another great example. I really love this girl, like woman, excuse me. I love her. It's beautiful, black, love that. Anyway, beautiful makeup, all the things. Like I watch her on TikTok these days, and she's still like great at, she's influencing, but she also has her own business. Amazing. And if you follow Jackie Aina, she has a really great personality, which I think even more so than all the things that she talks about and that she's done through her content, I feel like her personality is something that people are very drawn to as well. So even after having a business or starting a business, the personality that she has ultimately continues to drive attention to not only just her as a person or as an influencer, as well as to her business. The makeup people, I feel like the people that do makeup and things like that, like they're so great at building an audience because they provided something or they do something that people are looking for information about. They're looking to find out like what brands carry the best foundation, what mascara to get, how to blend things better. Like we're looking for that information. And if, again, going back to personality, if you have a personality that people feel drawn to, as well as, being skillful or being smart or being knowledgeable, sometimes being pretty, things of that nature, it adds to the possibility of that influence coming your way and actually working out for you. Sometimes, I won't say always, because man, I heard a story about a girl who had like a bajillion followers and she started a t-shirt brand and she couldn't even sell 20. Long story short, we're not going to go into that. Just know that it doesn't work for everybody. But I just feel like, the more relatable and natural you are, the more, not natural like face wise, but like, being yourself, the more you are yourself, the easier it is for you to use your influence to ultimately also be a great or successful business owner. So they all really did a great job, or currently are doing a great job at diversifying their efforts online, whether that be for the purpose of influencing and getting that influencer dollar, or whether that be as a business owner, as a CEO, and getting that CEO money. Okay. The influencer thing, it comes with risk. Business comes with risk too. It's double the risk, honestly. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. I mean, I'm gonna keep saying this to you. It is so hard. Like, it's hard. Hard with a capital H, all the letters in hard, capital. Hard. It all comes with risk. And ultimately, you don't want to set yourself up for something that you honestly can't handle. Long story short, I don't want y'all to try to launch a business and become an influencer, because it's just not. It's not something that I would recommend. So in my podcast, we talked a little bit about Sara Blakely. She is the CEO of Spanx. Love Spanx. Side note, did y'all know Spanx sells things other than shapewear now? I was so flabbergasted when I found that out. Spanx sells leggings and jeans and skirts and shirts. They sell a ton of things. Anyway, Sara Blakely is a great example of a CEO who now has influence, but didn't come into the market with the desire to be an influencer. She came into the market with the desire to solve a problem for consumers. Most people probably didn't even know her name, but we knew Spanx. We knew what Spanx was. We knew what it did or what those products did for the woman's body. Sarah Blakely as an individual or as a personality or as an influencer didn't come until like many years down the line. There's people like Elon Musk who, oh my God, some people, they're not happy with my guy. All of these people, myself included, we spent years, not months, not days, not weeks, years building what we have today. Now, I got a little baby empire. She's still growing. In fact, tomorrow makes 4 years of me being in business. Oh my gosh. We spend years, guys. A long time. I mean, it hasn't been that long for me, but it's been a long time in my eyes. And I just think it's so unrealistic to believe that you can just wake up one day and decide that this is now what you are. I am both an influencer and a business owner, and have the expectation that they both work out for you today simultaneously. I just don't think that it's realistic for you to think about. Think about being a business owner or a influencer, either one, whichever one you decide is more important to you, or whichever one you decide you want to explore first. I don't think that it's realistic to believe that, you can wake up tomorrow and it's just going to work out for you. I mean, once in a lifetime, it works for somebody, but don't stress yourself into believing that, it's going to. It's a no for me. It sounds really, really harsh. I hope this video encouraged you guys to slow down. Okay, slow down. Take a chill pill. Honestly, this influencer thing's crazy hard. The business owner thing, I like it here. It's pretty cool. It's crazy. It has its days, but I like it here. I encourage it. But you got to take your time. And either way that you choose to go, you have to take your time. You have to give yourself grace. You have to learn. You have to gain skills and knowledge and all those good things, and allow one to live without the other. And then you can merge them down the line. Like, don't force yourself into believing that these two things have to be a thing together simultaneously. They don't, 100%. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As I said, we'll be doing these videos every single Friday. I can't wait to share some cool topics with you guys and see what you guys have to say. I would love to have you guys add to the conversation. So if you guys enjoyed this video, comment below and tell me, would you prefer or do you want to be an influencer or a CEO? Let me know in the comments. I can't wait to read what you guys have to say. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.